Hey everybody, how's it going? B Temple back again, and today we're going to do something, I guess a little bit of a smaller type review. This one won't take too long. But what we have here is a B unit from a lesser known ration that doesn't get seen very often. This is a B unit, as you can see, crackers and a cookie from the Korean War era, and it's found, or was found, in what was known as the Food Packet Individual Assault, or I guess FP, IA. And these particular rations were sort of the precursor to the Vietnam War era C rations, otherwise known as the MCI, or Meal Combat Individual. And these were about, maybe like 3/4 of the actual size of the box, and maybe about half the actual weight. So a Food Packet Individual Assault would have came with one of these B unit cans, a can of either cheese or some sort of like meat or anything like that, and then just an accessory packet. So it wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't a whole lot of calories. The particular, I suppose, reasoning behind it or purpose for it was during the initial stages of an assault, a soldier would be issued a number of these, enough for a couple days, and then the idea being that after that amount of time, hopefully, a field kitchen will be set up later on. And with that field kitchen set up, then you wouldn't have the need for something like this. But this is sort of just to get you by for a few days during the initial start of an attack, anything like that. And and they sort of thought that you shouldn't eat this for any more than a few days. There wasn't really enough to sustain you, especially under heavy combat. So the reason why I have two of them here is that these two B units with crackers and cookie have the same exact production date. They both say 5/52. So these are both from May of 1952. And the purpose here is to sort of look at two cans which are in, I guess, varying degrees of quality of the can. This particular one here on the right looks like it's actually, in pretty good shape. Everything seems like it moves around nice inside. There's no sort of pressure on the top of the can. This one here seems to be in a little bit harder shape. It's a little bit of rust around the edge of the can here. It's a bit more scuffed up. But in reality, it still seems to have about the same sort of, I guess, pressure as the other can. They don't seem to be bulged in any way. All you would normally find in these would be just sort of, obviously, as the title shows, crackers and a cookie. Don't really need to do much more aside from, I guess, open these up and let's see if the outside quality of the can is any indication of what the inside quality of the components will be. Maybe this one will be better, maybe this one will, who knows. But we'll open up both and we'll see how they look. So these come with a key at the bottom and a little tab along the side instead of having to use an actual can opener. So we'll open both of these up and we'll see how they're looking. We'll listen to see if we can get a hiss. Oh yeah, that was a very good hiss. So here's our first one, the one that was in better shape. Everything looks good so far. And we have on top a chocolate chip cookie. The chocolate has smushed a little bit. But for the most part, that looks and smells pretty good. It's got a little bit of a stale kind of smell to it, but doesn't seem that bad. And let's dump out our crackers. So it seems that the chocolate has sort of worked its way around inside the can. But you get 3 crackers and you get 1 chocolate chip cookie, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. This goes along with, like I said, an accessory pack, which would have, a coffee and a sugar and a creamer and some candy and whatnot, usually like a jelly bar or something like that. And some meat, and then this. So it's really not a whole lot. You're not going to get a whole lot of food. It's going to be just enough to sustain you. So these don't look like they're in too bad a shape. These are your standard sort of crackers from that time period, that sort of World War II, Korean War time period. They got salt on them. They're rounded. They're very, very light. These ones don't smell too bad. They smell obviously about the same this cookie does. Let's give one of our crackers a try first. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a nice buttery, airy kind of cracker. A nice snap to it. Doesn't taste stale in any way, shape, or form. And that salt on top really, really does help the flavor. New, modern, USMRE crackers don't have that salted top. And you can certainly tell the difference. Let's give our cookie a try. As you can see, let's try to snap it. It's still nice and crispy. Doesn't look that much different from a, modern sort of oatmeal Chips Ahoy type thing. But yeah, let's give a taste, I guess, of our, what would be, 66-year-old chocolate chip cookie. That is absolutely perfect. If someone handed me this and said, yeah, these are some cookies I bought at the grocery store kind of thing in a package, I wouldn't know the difference, which is perhaps a little off-putting given his age, but I've got no complaints about that so far. So remember, that's the B unit. That was the one that was in better shape. Let's open up this one now and see what, a can that looks a little bit more rough. Let's see what its components seem like. Once again, let's see if we can get a nice little hiss. Yep, there you go. Wasn't too bad. Didn't seem to be quite as pronounced of a hiss as the last can. But we'll see if that makes any difference when it comes to the quality of the components inside. Inside of the can looks pretty much the same. Here we have our chocolate chip cookie. And I tell you, that looks no different from the first one. Less chocolate on top, so it actually, didn't smush very much. Now this one does have a different smell to it. I can't quite place the smell, but it does smell different. But we'll dump out the crackers. Give these a look. Once again, the chocolate has moved around. These crackers look exactly the same as the one from the previous can. These ones here tasted, I guess not tasted, but smelled a little bit stale. These ones don't smell the same way, but there is some sort of, I guess, different smell coming off them, but it doesn't seem unpleasant. It's just different, I suppose. It's unique. I can't quite place it, but we'll take a little small bite of this cracker first. That'll probably be a good indicator of if everything else is good. And that's perfectly okay. Same sort of commentary I would give for these previous crackers. Just nice and buttery and crack. I guess I was going to say buttery and crackery, but they got a nice snap to them. Nice and airy. That salt, there's a lot of salt on them and actually brings the flavor out well. So let's see if that makes any difference to how our second chocolate chip cookie tastes. And once again, that is perfectly okay. So we've got something that was manufactured, or at least packed, in May of 1952. And it is pretty well perfect. I've had ration components from the 90s that don't seem as fresh as this, that don't taste as good as this. I've had, ration components from the 80s as well, from the, original brown bag MREs that sometimes don't hold up as well as this does. So that's amazing. So guys, there's really not a whole lot extra to say here. We tried out our two, B unit cans from our food packet individual assault. Both of them were absolutely perfect. I can't really say anything bad about them. Maybe the crackers that were sitting on the bottom look maybe like a little discolored. That could be just due to, I suppose, scuffing on the bottom of the I guess the internals of the can, perhaps. But as far as I can tell, these were fantastic. So this was just going to be a short review, everyone. I didn't plan on doing anything else with this. So I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and giving this a watch. I'm going to very quickly run through another review. I think I just acquired an entire case of 2018 Canadian IMPs. And I'm going to run through a menu that, as far as I know, has never been reviewed before. So I'll come back with that one as soon as I can. So like I always, like to say, thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a good one.